We are back here with you this week on Gridiron. It is our Red Hurricane Report. And Larry, the floor is yours, coming off a 49-13 home loss to Armstrong.
Unfortunately, the script has not changed with the Red Hurricane. They're in this game. They have a lead late in the second quarter. They have Armstrong pinned back in their own territory. It's 4th and 4 at Armstrong's 23-yard line. They're going to punt the ball, and we go offsides and give them a first down. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. That's not winning football. That's just a mental lapse. We talk about laser focus. We talk about mental toughness. Winning teams do not do that. And as you might expect, in the very same drive, there's 1 minute and 6 seconds left in the half, with Newcastle still holding the lead at 13-7. They have them 4th and 12 from the Hurricane 31-yard line, and they give up a 31-yard touchdown pass on a 4th and 12. Again, I wasn't there. My guess is there was a breakdown in the coverage. That's my guess. You can't hit a 31-yarder if everybody's doing their job in a 4th and 12 when you're in a pass defense. And, that kind of momentum going into the half is very powerful. But unfortunately, the momentum was with the wrong team. Armstrong came out in the second half and just dominated play, outscored the Red Hurricane 35-0. And, but there's a few bright spots. We threw for, I think, 162 yards passing, a really nice, I think, 55-yard touchdown pass in the game. So they're young. Kyrell Harris is a sophomore. He's the quarterback. I coached him in basketball. He is a really, really, really good athlete. He appears to have a really, really good arm. He's quick as a cat. He's the type of athletic quarterback that Stacey Robinson really likes. And I think, you can build off of that. But again, you cannot make the kind of mental mistakes that Newcastle made in this game. And unfortunately, it seems to have made, for the last several years and win football games. It's not going to happen. The momentum switches. It's an avalanche of momentum when 4th and 4, you got them pinned, you're leading. It's the second quarter. It's late in the second quarter, and you go offsides. It's hard to overcome that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was, I believe, 15-play drive. Boy, it was. I tell you what, it was a quote-unquote bleep show that night. 8 penalties, as you mentioned, that offsides. The second half was a disaster for Newcastle. Armstrong got the opening kickoff, threw an 11-yard pass. The next play was a 49-yard touchdown run. They kick off. I think Newcastle throws an interception. Armstrong's in the end zone. Armstrong kicks off. Newcastle fumbles the kickoff. Armstrong's in the end zone again. At this point, it's just, when's the mercy rule going to kick in? How much longer? Because at that point, it was just pretty much game, set, match.
But there were some bright spots. I mean, Newcastle started the game. Kyrell hit Tyler Leakins with a 17-yard touchdown pass. And then 2 possessions later, he hits Tyler again, this time for 63 yards. I think I said it was 55. 63-yard touchdown pass. I saw that one on Lawrence County Sportsnet. It was a beautiful throw, beautiful catch. And Tyler Leakins, he can fly. The young man can fly. So, there's some bright spots. And I'm sure Stacey knows this. I'm not telling him he doesn't know. You can't beat yourself. You can't commit 8 penalties in a football game, and you certainly can't go offsides on a punt, 4th and 4, when you got them pinned back at their own 23-yard line. Just can't do it. It's unacceptable.
Right. Yeah. Kyrell Harris, I was looking forward to watching him play. Very impressed. He was what I thought he would be advertised as. So no surprise there. Tyler Leakins, as you mentioned, quite an athlete. Certainly can fly. That's for sure. You hit the nail on the head on that one. Those were 2 nice touchdown passes. it's a shame that, Newcastle was in it in the first half. And what's the shame about it is they got all the way down there in scoring range in the first quarter. It had 4th and goal from the 1, and they went for it, which that's the right call. I mean, even though Angel Porras can kick you a field goal and get you up 3-0, hey, you got the goal to go, you may as well do it and try to get the 7 points. And they got stuffed, and I think Armstrong, I don't know if they scored on that possession. I don't think they went 99 yards, but I think they got out of there enough that they punted and won the field position battle at that point. So, I mean, that was tough. I mean, figure if you get that touchdown, the way things would have went, if they play out the same way, you're up, 20-14 at the very least.
Maybe you're up 20-6 or 20-7 at that point too. It could be a completely different game. We talk about it in basketball all the time. Maybe the most important parts of every game, the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. In basketball, Ralph would talk about that all the time. Those are momentum swings. And I can remember some games, through all runs where we would hit a big 3 right at the end of the second half or make a defensive play. I mean, they're emblazoned in my mind, some of those plays. And man, are they momentum swings. And I know we're not talking about basketball, but it's the same in football. The last 4 minutes of the first half, the first 4 minutes of the second half, probably the most important part of any game, because there's so much momentum to be gained or lost in those first 4 and last 4, that really can swing the game. And it certainly swung the momentum in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. So up next for Newcastle is a road game Friday night against West Allegheny. West A is 3-0, no longer coached by Bob Palco. However, still that tradition down there at West Allegheny. Again, they're 3-0. This is the Parkway Conference opener for both schools. The opponent's record for West Allegheny, despite West Allegheny being 3-0, the opposition is 2-7. They've beaten 2, 0, and 3 teams, and they defeated, I want to say South Fayette, which is 2-1, and they beat them, I want to say 40-7. They've scored at least 40 in all 3 games.
Listen, South Fayette's the real deal. You beat South Fayette 40-7. You got a pretty good football team. West Allegheny, historically, is a very powerful football team. I remember when Pelco was there, they used to run from the Wildcat, and here we are. This is what we do. You try to stop us. And, Newcastle did a pretty good job, I thought, against the run last week. They only gave up 160 yards rushing, but they gave up 227 through the air. And, again, you gotta make stops. You can't beat yourself. But there's a few bright lights out there, and hopefully we can build on that. But it's not getting any easier. We got West A, and then I think we got Central Valley, 2 of the best teams in the WPIL.
Mm-hmm. Larry, let's channel your coaching strategy here for a moment. Even though you haven't coached football, and a lot of people say, "What do you know about football?" we will throw this out there to you though. In baseball, when you get ready to have a key game in baseball, and you finally go home and it's for the night, and you're having alone time watching TV or whatever, I'm sure in the back of your mind you're thinking, we play Team A tomorrow. Team B is on the horizon. You probably know in your mind who you're playing. I mean, it's coach speak to say, we're not looking past this team. We don't care about that team. But in your mind, you probably know who's next. Is that correct?
Absolutely right. In baseball, you have to line up your pitching to be ready for who's next.
Okay. Well, who's next is Central Valley. So I'm sure, would you agree that Stacy's probably thinking to himself, we better give a good showing down at West A, if not come away with the win, because what's waiting for us the following week is Central Valley. And we know what Central Valley has. You can't start 0-2 in the Parkway. And this team's done that routinely lately.
Look, the only thing Stacy's thinking about is trying to get better and find a way to make this team more laser focused, more mentally tough, or else they're going to get beat the rest of the way. You just can't commit these penalties. You can't go off sides on a punt. There are certain things, and listen, coaching is coaching, Ronnie. Let me let you in on a little secret. If Ralph Blundo was a football coach and you give him the talent that he has and that we were lucky enough to have in basketball, he's going to win, because a lot of coaching is basically getting your players to believe in themselves, to be fundamentally sound. We talk about it all the time, to be laser focused, mentally tough, do your job. And, good coaches in any sport, that's what they do. That's what they talk about. And Stacy's a good coach, but it starts with the players, and it starts in developing the culture. And, he's 2 games in. It's going to take a little while to develop the type of culture that he wants. It doesn't happen overnight. And I don't think he's thinking about anything except getting his team better and trying to develop a winning mindset and a winning culture, to avoid the type of mistakes that unfortunately they've made so far this year.
Yeah, 3 games in, actually, if you count the Summit Academy win and then the 2 losses to Armstrong and down at Mars. So this is a big game, Larry. Must win, or do you put it in that category? Obviously, you want to win them all, but do you put it in the must win to start the conference 1-0 from that standpoint?
No, let me tell you what I put it up. I put it in as a must show up, a must get incrementally better. If there was a line on this game, Newcastle would be a 30-point underdog in this game. Right?
Wow.
I mean, West A is loaded. They're loaded every year. They score 40 points a game, and we're playing 9th and 10th graders. Okay, so let's get incrementally better. Let's learn not to beat ourselves. Let's learn to do our jobs. And if you do all of that, and the other team is just a little better, you can live with it. But when you beat yourself, and you make there's the breakdowns defensively and the penalties, it's hard to take. So look, let's just get better. That would be my focus as a team. Let's get better. Let the outcome be where it may, but let's get better. Let's start developing those winning habits that will lead to better things moving forward.
I think you just, quote unquote, PO'd a lot of people at Newcastle with your 30 points.
Nobody loves Newcastle more than me. Nobody. You don't think I don't bleed red and black? I still get the chills when I hear the fight song. You think I like to go and watch these games and see my alma mater get beat like this? I don't. It kills me, okay? It kills me. But the bottom line is the facts are the facts. I don't know what games you've been watching, but if you think we are not a significant underdog going to West Allegheny, you don't know anything about football, kid. So I'm telling you, I'm hoping for the biggest upset in the world, but that's what it's going to take to beat West Allegheny at West Allegheny. I want to come up here next week and say, man, was I mistaken about that? I want to. I'll be the happiest guy in the world if I could say that.
I hear you, brother. I'm just saying, I'm surprising that a true blue, red and black is coming up with a point spread like that. So we'll see. We'll see. Big game Friday night, 7 p.m.
Big game Friday night.
Yep, at West Allegheny.
There's one thing I learned growing up around here. People should look out for each other. Be friends and neighbors that you can count on. So it bothers me when people who are hurt in automobile accidents get bullied by the insurance company. I don't let bullies run over my clients. I do what I was taught growing up. Step up, stand up, and speak up for those who can't. I'm Larry Kelly, and I'm a Newcastle guy.